Okay, and into the third phase, which is reading for detail. Now, there's not much that I can kind of teach you here. It's just that you've got to read it, see if you can understand it. Remember, the time is going to start getting really important here, so don't be afraid to guess. And then also remember, don't forget this information that you learned in phase 2. You're not forgetting that. You're going to build on that information. Are they positive or negative? Look at the structural language. What can you tell from that? Is there any more repetition? That sort of thing. So the first one that we're still missing is paragraph C. So read it again. The trees are dwindling because their seedlings cannot survive or grow. So the baby trees cannot survive or grow. Here's an example. Here's an example of a shrub. You don't know what a shrub is? Let's try and figure out what a shrub is. It's invading the floor of the forests. This shrub grows so thickly that the young trees often fail. The young trees die to take root. So a shrub is some kind of a plant. With no young trees to replace them, the big trees disappear. Across much of northern Australia, new linking language that we kind of missed the first time around. A kind of grass from Africa. So we've got a shrub and we've got a grass from Africa is overrunning the woodlands. The grass grows up to 4 meters tall and burns, creating fires that cause tree mortality, catastrophic. So basically, the structural language gives you this paragraph. It's 2 examples. They didn't use linking language here. And that's the problem with linking languages. Some writers don't use it. This should actually be firstly and secondly if you're using basic writing. But they don't use it. It's a question of writer's style. But these 2 things are super important. A kind of a grass and a kind of a shrub, which is another kind of plant, which is killing the baby trees, killing the young trees, killing the seedlings. It's negative, and it's 2 examples of plants that are killing the trees. Deforestation, no. There we go. It's negative, and we saw from the structural language 2 examples of other plants that caused harm. So I'm quite confident about that. Let's check. No, and no. So that's fine. It's negative and structural language. Those are the 2 things that helped us there. Right. This little one here. I'm suspicious of small paragraphs. IELTS likes to make them very difficult. This hypothesis, what is it? The tree growth declines in warmer years. That means that tropical forests will shrink over time. The largest and oldest trees will die and not be replaced. According to them, this might trigger means cause a destabilization of the climate. That's interesting. Remember, environment, climate. As older trees die, forests release their carbon into the atmosphere, a vicious cycle of warming, forest shrinkage, carbon emissions. This always, when you see carbon emissions, they're talking about the environment because it's such a big topic in the world with global warming and carbon emissions and greenhouse effect and all of that. So, I don't know, I think that, please notice that little colon. I'm going to make it bright pink. There's usually important information before and after the colon. So here it's really about climate change, carbon emissions. Nothing really to help us, but it is negative, hey? Don't notice, they die, not replaced. Vicious cycle. Vicious means very bad cycle. So it's a negative one. Deforestation, I didn't see it, deforestation, no. Big tree loss on the environment, I like. Ways to prevent it, no. And ways that the industry uses products, no. So there is the main word. We're talking about the environment, and remember, it's often good to just identify environment paragraphs. When they start talking about carbon emissions, they're talking about the environment, global warming, etc. And remember also now we're kind of guessing, we're looking for something negative, that's negative, we've got our word there, I'm happy enough with that one. The impact of the big tree loss on the wider environment, great. Then our last one is this big paragraph. So these big paragraphs, often they have like 2 topics, and you have to divide them in half. We're talking about threats. We want something negative. So immediately you can actually just go and guess. There is negative. This is not negative. This is not negative. This is not negative. I would just guess that one and move on. But anyway, deforestation. Do we see anything about deforestation? Trees have been cleared. There's deforestation. So they're giving examples of forests are being logged. That's deforestation. Logging means cutting down trees, deforestation. So this is all just examples of deforestation, and they give the reasons why the deforestation happened. They don't really say how. Measures to prevent, no, and ways industry, no. This is bothering me. But at this point, we're going to just guess and we're going to say this, but it is bothering me a little bit. Let's see if they can say how. Isolated trees. Now that is actually the isolated trees. They're small patches of land surrounded by pasture land. Pasture land is farmland, so the trees are isolated. Then this is the how. Okay, there I see it. How does the mortality increase? Because of two reasons. First, the wind kills them. Second, they dry out. So all this is about how. All this is about deforestation. Right, okay, that's fine. So it just shows you this two reasons again. That sort of structure was important. So fine, you don't need to delete the last one. Number 1 for that one. Great. So that's your 3-phase strategy for matching headings. I'll add some details in here about what we can look for. Maybe I'll add some stuff here. I don't want to add too much here, but start practicing this strategy. Very important. Don't waste too much time here doing detailed reading. Try and find the ones that jump out at you. These are the easy ones. These are the medium ones. These are the difficult ones. Great. I'll do another video just like this one soon. Another 3 videos.